got all the sort of pastoral communities together and told them we will all start writing the word Yadav. And so the Yadav Rajputs stopped and shifted to Jado. And Yadav and Jado are interchangeable, like Yamuna and Jamuna interchangeable. Braj mein Y and J are similar. And today the Yadavs or the Ahirs as such, try and put a bad name on the Rajputs, saying that, oh, no, you don't have to, it's clear-cut history and there is enough evidence to see who is what.
Not only bad name, they try to tell that they are fake.
Exactly, so
that's pathetic in a way.
It's pathetic in lots of different levels, and people aren't ready to understand. I mean, if you're trying to explain to someone, they say, oh, don't get all riled up. But they want to get riled up and they want to sort of give their opinion, but don't want to hear yours. So we've also become a society where we want to talk but not listen in a way.
And the same, I think, the discussion that I was telling you about with Virendraji,
right,
on his book Gurjar Desh,
right,
it was centered around that only.
Absolutely.
So I'll definitely send you the link. So
we have inscriptions, we have data, everything that points out that Samrat Prithviraj Chauhan was a Rajput, Mihir Bhoji was a Rajput. I mean, there is enough evidence.
It's silly and
it's called Sanskritization. It's human nature. If you study psychology, there's something called Maslow's theory, theory of hierarchy, where you keep reaching a certain level, so you want the next thing. What is the next thing is, let me sort of, I won't say fabricate. So Ahirs did have some sort of association through Nand Baba, since Krishna Bhagwan was brought up there. But I'm sure Nand Baba himself wouldn't say that I am a Yaduvanshi, I'm a Yadav, right? But I mean, it is what it is now.
It's okay. Everything that is happening, not okay. I'm not somebody who is authority to say that it is okay. But it is okay as long as you're not abusing the
exactly.
other party.
See, gods and these really famous figures, I think all of us as Indians,
they are
not
all
even
sacred to us.
Everyone has a right
yes.
to, they belong to all of us. We have a right to be. But exactly what you're saying, and this is what I noticed, and that's when I started talk. Otherwise, I was very much like, we should all, we as Indic people should sort of, think and talk in a certain way, and we all. But the minute you start speaking to certain communities, you see the venom that's there for the Rajputs, and that sort of just changed my mindset a little bit.
It's been filled into them, like that's.
It is.
Actually, I also struggle with something similar. Like
you do.
The Raghavs were called Bad Gujars.
Yeah.
So then there is again that
in fact,
conflict.
Jaipur.
Bad Gujars are positioned as Gujars. And that is again, I would say, is okay. But then you cannot be vile against us. You cannot be abusing my ancestors.
Right.
I cannot allow that. I cannot accept that.
Of course. So that's you'll be, now that you talk about the Bargujars, Jaipur, Dhundhar was actually ruled by the Bargujars.
Till
the Meenas.
1025.
The Meenas actually held little pockets. I mean, of course, they were in the hills, in the khos as we call them, jo ravines hote, and the Rajputs were ruling the plains. And
Meenas used to fight along with for Bad Gujars.
Exactly. So by the end of it, the most powerful Meena chief, the Rao Bhatto, was from Amber. He was from the Susawat clan of Meenas.
Okay.
So when the Meenas, everyone would come to him. The Meenas would go to him if they had any problem or any issue.
Okay.
And if they still couldn't sort of resolve it, the final sort of loose allegiance was with the Bargujar Raja of Devti bolte the us time. Which is this, I don't know whether you've been there, but it's the most spectacular. Sariska ke paas mein Rajorgarh, and it's basically one of your main, the Bargujars.
It was the last bastion in Rajasthan.
Yeah, and Dhundhar was basically, half of Dausa was of the Bargujars.
Half was of Kachwa, but that half was taken somewhere around 10.
No, so half was with the Chauhans and half was with the Bargujars.
They took it from Chauhans.
They married into the Chauhans and conquered it from the Bargujars.
Agreed.
And then, of course, they married into the Bargujars.
Then Rajorgarh attacked, but it failed somehow.
It failed a few times, and then the main branch, I think, then shifted to Aligarh.
One of the branches.
One of the main, Baroli Rao, I think.
But the others shifted to Rajasthan, 4 areas in Rajasthan.
Alwar mein also there are a couple of places.
Sikri, Sikargarh.
So because of that, there are a lot of people who assume that Bargujars are belonging to the Gujar community, which is not true at all. I mean, and the same thing goes to Gujar Desh or Gujar Samrat, and I mean, and great. I mean, and like I keep saying, I don't want to do the same thing these other. I mean, respect to the Gujars and to the Meenas and to the Haris. You have your own rich history. You have your own things to be proud of. You have your own culture. Why sort of
digress from it? And it is not only disrespectful for me, and if you tell those things to my ancestors, that is disrespectful, obviously. But when you slide away from your own history, you're disrespecting your own ancestors.
Exactly.
Who have sacrificed their life continuously over and over
for
injustice
to them.
Generations. Absolutely. Many generations.
Well said, yeah. So it's a double injustice that's happening, which is,
So let's come back to our topic. So I wanted to ask something.
Yeah.
Was architecture, this beautiful architecture that our kings used to make, was it a sign of status somehow?
I don't think it was a sign of status. Yes, of course, when you're living in this feudal system, everything is status also in a way, right? Even now, if I digress, Hawa Mahal was made, obviously as the crown of Krishna Bhagwan, unke mukut ke hisab se, but amongst the other reasons, it was also made kiya as a status symbol to show ki jo aate jate rehte hai bazaar mein, because us time pe to you couldn't buy a ticket to the museum and go inside and see all the beautiful things, right? Aapko kya exposure milega Maharaja ki ka art and architecture? Hawa Mahal. So that's why it's showing, it's facing the bazaar, right? And so I feel it was a status thing, but I feel it goes beyond that, because the Rajputs were not making these beautiful buildings only in peace times.
It was also about application of mind too, I'm assuming.
You were dialoguing with the environment, with the terrain. And that's why you see our buildings like in the West are not imposing, they'll cut a mountain completely and then build a palace. We would talk to the palace and build it according to its contours and stuff. So even if you go to see the Jaipur wall, it's like a snake going over the thing, which is spectacular.
Same with many forts.
So we were not, we truly knew how to coexist at the time. We were not trying to impose ourselves. And I feel the Rajputs have played a major role in that, whether it's patronizing the art and the craft. Today what's happening? A lot of crafts or heritage
at the cost of environment.
No, it's disappearing. You see a lot of old artisans artists and craftsmen are disappearing because after independence, there's no one to patronize them. Who's going to support them? They are performing a craft that's not lucrative, and they are not businessmen who are going to scale up. The Maharajas and the Maharanis were supporting them. They are not given credit for that. Sorry, you were saying something also.
I meant modern development, it is coming at the cost of environment.
Absolutely.
Now, which was not the case before. Because मतलब पूरी संस्कृति ही शायद अगर मैं कहूँ तो हमारी कहीं ना कहीं कोएग्जिस्टेंस के बारे में ही है. वी यूज्ड टू ऐसे ही थोड़ी कण कण में नारायण बोल दिया है.
बिल्कुल
हम मानते थे ना. हम तो वही अब सोशल मीडिया पे भी ये बात होती है, हमने तो पत्थरों को भी पूजा, तो हमने नदियों को भी पूजा, तो हमने तो जंगलों को भी पूजा, तो हमने पहाड़ों को भी पूजा. ऐसी थोड़ी गोवर्धन पर्वत सेक्रेड है. सारे पर्वत सेक्रेड होते थे. तो उनको ऐसे डिस्ट्रॉय करना, वाइल्ड लाइफ को डिस्ट्रॉय करना. वाइल्ड लाइफ में अगर हम कहते हैं राजपूतों के लिए, इसके लिए भी बहुत क्रिटिसिज्म होता है कि वी यूज्ड टू हंट, है ना, आवर पीपल यूज्ड टू हंट, बट उसमें भी रूल था दैट यू कैन नॉट हिट अ फीमेल.
Right, so it was very regulated, and was less to do with shooting an animal for the joy of it. Of course, it was for the pot. That means for eating, and also to survey your lands. People don't think about that. That back in the day, Google Map थोड़ी ना था कि आप खोल के देखो कि अच्छा, how do you know about places? This शिकार was an excuse to go ride and check your land. कि आप उस पहाड़ी में गए, आप उस तालाब में गए, आप यहाँ गए, वहाँ गए. Of course, one sort of chink in the armor is that to entertain these British people who came
I agree.
in the early modern era is when we would take people there, and at that time there are certain instances we can't deny it, and we shouldn't also, but we were doing it to entertain the white man who was coming here to colonize us, so somewhere down the line I feel that is one thing. But to counter that also, hunters have been, what do you think Jim Corbett was? He was a hunter. Billy Arjun Singh was a hunter. There's a very disturbing, if you know about Billy Arjun Singh, was this very famous Dudhwa National Park is the one that he's sort of really built. And as a child, he's written in his book that he took a pellet gun and went to a leopard and kept shooting it when it was inside a cage. So he has these memories, but those memories made him into one of the greatest conservationists that India has. So it is always hunters that become conservationists.
You'll have to go a little bit more detail about this.
About hunting?
I didn't get the context.
Okay, so
pellet gun.
So Billy Arjun Singh was this gentleman from one of the Punjab royal families, but one of the younger branches. He was based in different parts of UP. So he's written in his book, I'll suggest it to you, that as a child he remembers with his cousin going to a zoo at the time, and they jumped the wall or something and all of that, and there was a leopard sitting very elegantly in its cage. These guys went, it was an air gun.
Okay.
And what will the leopard do? I mean, it's inside the cage, and they went and kept shooting it. An air gun won't kill it. It'll injure it, and sort of... and this is his words, he's written, and of course that regret stayed with him all his life.
Okay.
But you can see the nature of the person and how things change also. So these hunters, Jim Corbett, Billy Arjun Singh, who've hunted big game, small game, who've also had bad instances like I just told you about, became the biggest conservationists. They are the ones. Jim Corbett was the first person, I think, to have a national park named after him. Billy Arjun Singh created
I think he killed a man-eater.
He used to later on, but of course they've all hunted like mad. That's how you get to know the jungle.
That was how they were molded back then. Na?
And somehow...
Even in Americas, they killed all the...
But we didn't wipe out. When you go to Europe and America, they have no wildlife left. Yeah? How do we still have our wildlife left? Whether it's the lion, with tiger, it's the only country in the world that has the tiger and the lion together. We have elephants, we have crocodiles, we have gharial, it's also to do with, and I love saying this to the foreigner that comes, that our gods were associated with one animal or a bird or something. So because of that, for a large part, we looked at these animals as having a part of Devta, Devta ke ansh bhi hai wo. So because of that also we still have a large population, but the West keeps telling us कि आपने इतना hunting, इतना bad, why do we still have so many animals left and why do you have nothing at all? So
and they have no right to shame
exactly
us on that, because you wiped out the entire wildlife in wherever you went, like wherever you were ruling in Africa, gone.
There were 16 different types of elephants. 16. अभी तो African Indian बोलते हैं ना.
And why would anybody hunt elephants?
The ivory?
For ivory, right? They are not some target which
predators.
are difficult to kill.
Absolutely.
Right? They are like slow moving, big, giant.
Gentle, yeah. it's...
So you are doing it for greed and...
exactly. And we used to do it for survival, although I'm not a fan even back of the day. But it was, like I told you, it was more a cultural thing. It was more a physiographical thing.
But back then I think it was about archery skills too.
Also that, yeah.
Right. And after guns came, the context changed.
It became less so. Earlier, why is it called game? Game hunting, आपने सुना होगा कि game hunting क्योंकि equal chance जानवर का भी होना चाहिए. You're not कि आप जाके वो machine gun लेके, otherwise it becomes, you have to have, so it's a game between...
ऐसा कुछ बोलते थे ना हिंदी में शायद संस्कृत.
शिकार ही बोलते थे. I think शिकार may be a Persian word by the sounds of it.
ऐसा कुछ मैंने सुना है. I'm not able to recall properly.
It was basically you would give equal chance to the animal, You would not shoot animals in a certain part of the year because at that time it was their breeding time. You would not shoot females. People would not shoot sitting ducks, that whole saying comes from there only. Yeah? You have to have a good chance to miss. And that's where the sport came in. But of course, thankfully, or not thankfully, after independence, they've banned it. So there's no hunting anymore, so poaching hota hai.
And boar sake, I think target hote the because they used to destroy.
They killed many people also. A lot of one or two Maharajas also they were mauled by. Wild boars were strong.
They are.
I mean, they can really.
They're fast, no? Very
fast, strong, intelligent. But it's and even now that you're talking within the ball, so there are lots of the Bhati Rajputs who also claim descent from Krishna decided that they won't hunt boar at all. Because Vishnuji's one avatar was the... Which one was it? The Varaha avatar. Sorry,
first,
I don't know why. Third, I think.
Second.
The first was Matsya
avatar.
Then
second
was
is Varaha.
Kurm, which is the turtle.
Third is Varaha.
And then the boar. So they don't do it because they feel that Krishna Bhagwan is one of their ancestors, and because of that they consider it to be his ansh only, so we won't. I mean, everyone has their own that's how culture
even
building happens.
Claim, it reminded me. Even
yes,
Wadiars claim
but the
lineage
Rajput community, at least the So what is the Rajput, right? It's a community of 36 clans. Over the years, aage piche bhi hue, but these 36 have stayed throughout. Out of which the Yadus or Jadons or Bhatis are basically one. The Raghuvanshis or the Bargujars are one. The Kachawas are one. The Sisodias are one. The Jhalas, Bundelas. So there are 36 of them. The Wodiyars are not from that 36 clan. But later on, what happened is that this concept of Raja ki Raja se shadi ho sakti hai. You don't have to be from the same community to get married to each other, and that's why marriages. But if you open up old history, there is no marriage between a Rajput state and Mysore.
Okay.